Yeah.
All right, so I was thinking about, with all the rainouts, do we have a discussion about rainouts? Like, what do you do when it rains out?
I know what I used to do. Now I'm a little older. Things changed.
But, like, on Saturday, like, what did you do?
I went home and went to bed.
Yeah.
Right.
I worked all Friday night into Saturday mornings.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
So that's all us getting older right there.
Yeah. I mean,
It hits you fast.
Right.
I remember back in the day, we were like, oh, it might be a rain out. Slook, you going to the Packy? Right before you come, just in case they rain out.
Yeah.
As soon as they rained out, we would either hang out at the Honey Badger in the parking lot,
Yep.
or we would start the party at the backside of Critical. And there used to be some massive shindig. I mean, you've been to a few.
I went to a couple, yeah.
There'd be cars lined up all the way around. You couldn't get enough people in there.
I remember Teddy came with Quinn one time.
Teddy came
At
with
least when
Quinn.
I was there, he came once.
Yeah,
I was
Mike
like, wow.
Pettit.
Yeah.
They're all in there hanging out with us. I
Right.
couldn't believe my dad goes down to BJ's, buys a big thing of steak. At the time, it was like $80.
Yeah.
And he would just cut all these steaks up, just put them on the grills, like $80. Whoever was there got a steak. The Honey Badgers all got a steak, and then everybody else
Yeah.
had to fend for themselves. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fun.
We used to, I mean, when Richie was racing, my cousin was racing, like my family with the food, like you seen when at the cornhole, like my family was messing around with the food. So we had a buffet no matter what.
Yep.
And even if it rained out, it was like, all right, well, we got to go somewhere. And
Yeah.
if if it didn't rain a lot, maybe we'd be in a parking lot, like you said. Or a lot of times we just go back to my aunt and uncle's and just do a buffet like in the garage.
Yeah.
But it was still, instead of, back then it was always 2, 3, maybe 4 hours in the parking lot after the races.
Oh, yeah.
And you just kind of wiped the whole races out and you just went right to the tailgate and basically.
You know what we used to do inside Critical? There's like concrete polished floors.
Yeah.
We were screwing them up pretty bad because we didn't give a shit about them. But you would get like a little water on them, and we would have like 10-speed bike races, right? So we would set up like a cone, and then we had the lift, the pole for the lift.
Yeah.
And then we had like 3 bikes.
Wow.
And we'd be like, or we'd have
Isn't there some videos of that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I think
then we
I've
would
seen
get
a couple of those.
roll around office chairs.
Yeah.
Slook would be pushing me. John Boy would be pushing somebody. Pressel's been in a lot of
Yeah.
them. So it was a lot of
I think
fun.
that's the one I saw actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was always a. I was such a diehard when Richie raced, dude. I like, if it rained, I had like anxiety. Like,
I used to be.
what am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like, it was strange. Now it's kind of like you said, like, oh, it rains out. Okay, I
I
could
tell
use
you-
a rain out. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my guys would probably be mad, or Emma, but like when Thompson rained out, I was like, oh hell yeah,
Right.
hell yeah. Waterford too. Oh man, I got a vacation
Right,
this week.
yeah.
That's how I feel, right? I thought they were going to rain out this Thursday because the long range was looking like rain on Thursday, and I was like, oh man, it's not looking good. I'm like, oh yes. You know what I mean? But I mean, I enjoy going to the races, but we've had this discussion before. I'd be happy with a 12 race schedule, me personally.
Yeah.
Right? Every other week. I'd like to do other things on Saturday. The young kids, they want to go every weekend and race.
Fox made a great point with the when we had one of them videos about. I mean, that's your perspective and mine too as well.
Right.
But on the business side of it, tracks can't survive if they're
That's
not
right.
open every weekend. They have to be.
Right.
But so they should do it. There's a different conversation, but yeah, you're always open, but different divisions.
Well,
know.
you see, I'd be more upset about a rain out. Maybe if I came off of a week off and I was looking to get back to the track and we had a rain out,
Right.
right? I'd be a little more bummed. But when you're on the schedule pretty much every week, right, you're looking for the day off. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Self-employment has my brain smoking during the
For
week.
sure.
Yeah.
And if I have a night that I can, I put Bowman Gray on. I went down on my recliner last week. I put Bowman Gray on. Then Rich Hearn went live from Tri-County.
Yeah.
I live streamed that to my TV. I just sat in there with the AC on and my underwear on. It was beautiful.
How about Remy? She drove an hour and a half.
She hung out with us all day, though. She
Yeah.
had a great time.
Yeah. I kind of
well-
wish I saw some racing, but
You had a good time hanging out with us, so it was worth the ride.
stuck in the trailer
Oh, yeah.
with barely any room whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
How about Rob, diehard up at Loudon, waited out the whole thing?
Dude, I mean, I just figured I already driven the 3.5 hours to get there, so it was like, you know, I might as well wait another hour to see if I can see the end of the race.
What'd you do during the rain delay?
Well, we were just sitting and talking because I was with a group, right? And then it started like really, really downpouring. Like it was straight up raining underneath the stands. Like usually you can sit underneath the rain, like the grandstands, and it's just dripping a little bit. But it was like pouring through the stands because there was so much.
This is Sunday. This is Sunday, right?
Yeah. So I literally just went and stood in the bathroom for like 45 minutes.
Really?
Because there was nowhere else to go.
Was there a lot of people in there?
Hey.
Yeah, the whole thing was just full of people.
Could you imagine if you had to take a shit?
Dude, right? I was thinking like, what if someone actually
No,
needs
I mean really,
the bathroom?
what if you had to take a shit? Right,
Yeah.
I'm always conscious. I hate public restrooms.
Yeah, sometimes
like,
you gotta go.
I walk
get in there first,
right?
and I do the lookout. I'm like, shh, I'm not coming out until that guy leaves. You know what I mean?
I offered Rob. I had tickets to the museum. You know, that's right near the entrance.
Yeah,
Could
he
go and
said.
hang out in the museum.
Well,
But,
yeah,
I didn't
know-
anticipate. I just figured like, if the race gets going, it's just gonna go until it rains, and they're gonna call it. You know, I didn't expect them to actually wait it out. Because when we were watching the Coke 600, it was like, oh, it started to rain, and they tried to dry the track, and it didn't dry because it was humid, and then they called it, right? And I was like, oh, the same thing's gonna happen today, but it didn't happen.
What's the setup there? Is it general seating, or do you have to sit in a specific?
No, we had assigned seats, but after the rain delay, there was so few people left there that it was like you could just sit anywhere you wanted.
Nice. So
Not that I even really used my seat for the last 80 laps. I was basically by the fence for the entire last stint there.
You were up on the fence?
As close as you could get to the track.
Really?
Yeah.
Every time I go, I get as high as I possibly can to see the whole race.
I mean, that is the best place to sit, but it was like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. I just felt like standing by the fence.
Yeah.
There's a certain thrill to being right by the fence.
do you remember the video actually that I know there's a fly in here. He's
I'm going to get that man.
He's right here. He's gonna wreck shop. Do you remember the video Foster made about the rainouts?
Dude, I brought it up to him, and he didn't want to discuss it.
What do you mean?
Was
Foster?
Is this the one where we yes.
Yeah, where he had like Woody Pitcat crying.
Standing at the fence.
Yeah, right. Is that the one you were
Well,
talking
I don't know.
about?
There was one where he acted like a girl. Do you remember that one?
Who? Where Sean did?
Yes. Foster had this real funny video he did. And me and my wife
Why
watched
don't I
it.
remember that?
Maybe it was the rain. I thought he dressed up as a girl for a second, and then
The lasting image is to me is Woody because there's a screenshot of it that kind of like makes the rounds still.
Yeah.
But I remember back in the day saying to Brent and Jesse that I wanted to kind of do something during a rainout to capture how rainouts suck.
Right.
But we never could kind of figure it out. And then Foster put that video out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you got that covered. That's exactly."
Yeah. I have to check it out because we watched some, and I brought it up to Foster. I'm like, dude, we got caught watching the other night, and my wife see this video. Told us, she goes, I don't want to really talk about that one. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he had some good stuff. He didn't stick with it though. But I mean, I understand why.
What was that? Was that a podcast he did, or
No, it was like
just shorts, or not even?
No, it was like a vlog. Really, it was like a video blog kind of thing.
Yeah,
kind of like what
Arud is doing.
No, what Alexandra Fern is doing. So he would start like when he was driving there. He'd have the GoPro on the dash. Right. Talking and yeah, he was pretty good. He had good graphics. Like my buddy John, he had a guy that did music for him, and but I always wondered how he was going to do it long term because he was racing. Like I know how much work I put into this. There's no way I could do what you do on top of that. You know what I mean? Like with a race team or you. Like it's a lot of work. You can't do both. And so he only really did it for like a season.
Right.